Now, here's your host, Bryan Fischer.
Hi, welcome back to the second hour. Welcome back to the second hour of Focal Point on AFR Talk. I'm your host, Bryan Fischer. The program is Focal Point. Got a special guest in studio I want to get to in just a moment. I want to close the loop on that discussion about Chaz Bono. Remember, she's a she, it's not a he. She is a surgically mutilated female, sexually mutilated female. She is a female in every single solitary cell of her body. And AFA has been tagged as a hate group. Monica Cole, the executive director of 1 Million Moms, has been tagged as a hate-mongering, homophobic bigot for simply encouraging ABC to make a responsible decision here. Now, Dr. Keith Ablow, I'm not sure how you say his last name. I've never heard it pronounced, actually. It's A-B-L-O-W, got a very powerful column on Fox News. I thought I was reading something that was written by somebody here at the American Family Association. I'm just going to read some excerpts out of this. I want to come back to that pariah accusation we got at the end of the last hour. I advise parents, this is Dr. Keith Ablow. He is a psychiatrist. He's a psychiatrist, so he specializes in mental disorders and mental illnesses, and he's a member of the Fox News Medical A-Team. So this guy is a professional. He's not somebody in the pro-family movement. He's a medical doctor practicing psychiatrist. I advise parents to not allow their children to watch the episodes in which Chaz appears. Here's why. Many of the children who might be watching will be establishing a sense of self, which includes, of course, a sexual gender identity. The last thing vulnerable children and adolescents need as they wrestle with the normal process of establishing their identities is to watch a captive crowd in a studio audience applaud on cue for someone whose search for an identity culminated with the removal of her breasts, the injection of steroids, and perhaps one day soon the fashioning of a makeshift phallus to replace her vagina. It is a toxic and unnecessary byproduct of the tragic celebration of transgender surgery that millions of young people who do watch Dancing with the Stars will have to ponder this question. It would be wrong to think that gender dysphoria cannot be kindled by celebrating those who have undergone sexual reassignment surgery. Human beings do model one another in terms of emotion, thought, and behavior by broadcasting, applauding, and mainstreaming the journey of a very disordered person who endured and likely will continue to endure real suffering based on extraordinarily deep psychological problems. So Keith Ablow doesn't pull any punches. Look, this is a extraordinarily deeply mentally disturbed individual. Those are his words, a very disordered person. So once again, this is a lifestyle. These are decisions that should not be celebrated. This is not a person who should be celebrated. It's a person who should be helped. And that's what Dr. Keith Ablow from the Fox News medical team is saying. And one last comment on this pariah business. Last caller blaming us for the suicidal ideation of those in the transgender community. They kill themselves because of people like you, because we make them pariahs. And I talked about the fact that Chaz Bono was hardly a pariah, now a celebrity, featured on every morning talk show, featured on the news, lionized in the media, lionized in Hollywood. In fact, if anybody is the pariah, it's Monica Cole, 1 Million Moms, and the American Family Association, because we are being labeled by every major media outlet in the country as a hate group. Their effort to marginalize and to demonize. Who's the pariah here? It's the American Family Association is the pariah. And look, we are not killing ourselves. We're not out there committing suicide. If making somebody a pariah means you are responsible, and if people are made pariahs, they're going to commit suicide, we should have a wave of suicides washing through the headquarters of the American Family Association. Nobody around here is committing suicide. Being labeled a pariah does not drive you to suicide, and we are, in fact, living proof.